Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Radash. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai being the true name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and rule well. And shalom to you brothers out there laboring in this truth with all sincerity. This quick video, just based upon, the world we live in and the how this world shuns you for things that are biblical, but here the false view of the Bible here, which is promoted a lot by Christianity, which Christianity is of this world as well. The false view, one of the false views here of that's unbiblical is how a man deals with a woman, and the fact that how a man gets shunned for dealing with more than one woman. And this just was a quick video that gave an example of that, and how the world views a man dealing with more than one woman. I'm gonna let this play then. Get a few precepts, and Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying.
The real world that makes people I like you because I think you're very direct and straightforward, right? A lot of times in the real world that makes people an asshole. I get that a lot, right? That because I say what I feel, and I'm direct, and I'm like with you as well. I'm not going to disrespect you, but I would also not allow you to disrespect me. People feel a certain way about you. I think there's also a level of loyalty that comes along with that, though. That you know how I'm going to be, who I'm going to be, and where I'm going to be. You did something that I respected in a very adverse time. You talked about having a baby outside of your relationship. And you said, I can't lie. And I truly respected that. But then at the end, you said you were just a man. And I understand that because I've been in that position and not always made great decisions. What did you learn, though, from that experience? Because it was sort of a lesson in loyalty in many ways, your life partner and yours.
That's a sticky situation, man. Like, man, I got so much backlash on.
Yeah.
People don't know my relationship, so I'm never gonna badmouth my child's mother on social media or any platform. So anything that she done to me, anything that we went through, I'm gonna take it. You know, I'm gonna take it on the chin because that's what men do. But if we been 1,000% real, I should have left a long time ago. You know, men stay, women leave. But to cover that up, we wasn't even together when I got my other baby mama pregnant. You know, yeah, we was living together and things like that, but we wasn't together. Things happen, like I said, like, not saying that it's cool, not saying it's okay, but men have babies outside of their relationship every day. This is nothing new. That's why I'm like, you know, it's crazy. Women too. Like, a lot of people always criticize men of having children outside of their relationship or whatever the case may be, they wives and things like that. But when you see a woman do it, it's all she deserved better, or he wasn't doing this, or he did this to her, or why, and this and that. Why is it so much this and that and this? You know, like, you don't know why that man stepped out on his wife or his relationship and things like that. You just look on the outside looking in.
I like you because I think you're very direct.
And see, that's the point. You know, men are shunned for the fact of them dealing with more than one woman here on this side in Babylon the Great. And You know, why was that even set up? You know, why was that set up that way? Why was it somewhat illegal to be married to more than one woman here in Babylon the Great, here in America, here in this place that you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans love so much? But you can't even live your life to the fullest here. That's how you know you in hell. You in a living a condition that was modern by Esau Edom. You know, which the deceiver. Which that's the one reason why many people are deceived by the philosophies of Babylon the Great. Which is that word Babel? What is that word Babel? Babylon breaks down into Babel, which means confusion. And that's one thing people are confused about is the relationship, the way a man has his relations with women here. You know, which, hey, like I say, part of that is from the Christian church, which, you know, they worldly. But everybody, you know, for the most part, believes a false and unbiblical way of how man should deal with women, you know. Hey, let me get that in Revelation. Matter of fact, because he deceiveth the whole world. Revelation 12:9. And that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. You see? How does he deceive the whole world? With his philosophies, his way of thinking, which you've adopted. Most of our people have adopted the way of thinking of the deceiver. So that's the reason why everyone is confused and think it's a problem with a man dealing with more than one woman. And for the most part, you know, as regular Israelite men, we have no substance here. It won't, you know, we don't have any resources. You know, ultimately we're under the curses. So how we really, you know, we wouldn't even be able to afford, you know, multiple amounts of women. We'll get that in the kingdom. But for the most part, it's still you know, it's a part of being under a curse, being shamed or shunned for dealing with more than one woman. And that was an example right there from the brother Terrence Crawford. He was talking about catching backlash from getting another girl pregnant while he was so-called in a relationship with another girl. But hey, that's just the ways of Black America. You know, they think they go by the old Baptist church, and they shun you for dealing with another woman outside the one you already got. But let me finish this precept. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels cast out with him. But yeah, he deceiveth the whole world. That's how he do. That's how we get on. To make your living conditions not beneficial to you. I mean, shoot, you can have a child here, but it's like, hey, the Heavenly Father Yahweh gave us a commandment to be fruitful and multiply. You can't even do that here in Babylon. It's going to be a burden on you. You know, that's how you know you in hell. Along with being shunned for having more than one woman. That's it. That is one token to know that you're in hell. You're in an uncomfortable living condition. You know? what are some other ways he deceived the people and they deceived the whole world by teaching everyone that they a color. You're black, you're white, you're yellow, you're African American, you're Hispanic. You know, this just straight up deceiving, man. That's why we gotta hate this place. That's why, hey, the real men of the Lord hate this place. Even, even men that ain't even in the truth feel some type of way. They vexed because this place stops you from being a man. It hinders you from being a man. You know? So that's one way this devil is deceiving with his philosophies, and our people and everybody else just drank of it, and they're drunk of that wine, and then want to talk mess to you about the way you live, but meanwhile they're living totally off, totally unbiblical. They're not rehearsing any righteous acts. They're living uncontrary to the Bible. They're living the way the elites of Edom telling you to live. They live in the way the oppressor telling them to live. Not even knowing it's unbeneficial to you. And it's causing you to err. It's causing you to sin. Esau is the promoter of sin and confusion. Esau causes false balance. That's why we look forward to a new heaven and a new earth, man. Because we under these curses. Here go one of the curses right here, Jeremiah 31:22. It says, "How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man." Now that's totally off. But that's what we got to deal with in this world we live in. Esau Edom pedalizes, put woman on a pedestal above a man. You see how he promotes everything to be off. He is that He is that sword of the Heavenly Father. He is the whooping stick of the Heavenly Father. That's why the earth was given unto him, so he can put hell on Jake. Hey, but through these scriptures and through this word, we got comfort, man. And that's part of us bearing our cross. While our minds is right, we got to hear people with their minds not right talk shit to us. Like, So, but, we ain't out to, like I say, we have nothing here. We ain't out to get tons of women, We not in a position for that right now. Hey, our first love ultimately is this truth. So, I didn't want to. I just wanted to share that because everything. We look for a new heaven and a new earth that dwell righteousness. Everything here is unrighteous and a false balance. And what does the Lord say about a false balance? It is an abomination to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And even the minds of our people are off balance, or got a chemical imbalance. They minds off balance due to being drunk off the wine of Babylon. Here, this is Genesis chapter 22 and verse 17. It says, "In that in blessing I will bless thee." So how is it a bad thing if a man has a child with more than one woman? If he's clearly right here, the Heavenly Father said, "I will bless thee." and in multiplying, I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven. You can't do that with one woman. The stars of the heaven, that's many children. That's your, your seed being spread far and wide. You can't do that with only one woman. It says, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gates of his enemies. So that's a blessing. We're gonna be blessed in the kingdom. We're gonna be blessed with many wives and many children. We can't get it on this side like that. But yeah, and still, just for having that on a small scale, you're shunned upon. Boy, these people. But hey, like I said, we under the curses, so why even try? Because what does Deuteronomy 28:30 say? Thou wife, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. That's totally off. But hey, that's what happens here in Babylon the Great, here in America. And thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. We have no substance here, nothing. This ain't it. That's why we need Yahushua. We need the kingdom ASAP, man, so we can live in righteousness. This ain't it. Whoever like it here, you off. You need a checkup from the neck up. Whoever is comfortable. Hey, our people get comfortable in the curses as long as they got a car and an apartment and a live box every now and again. They straight. No, this ain't it. This is not it. A good job and a car and apartment and some box every now and again. They are right now. This ain't it. Nah. Hey, the best. Hey, somebody asked me, "What's your ideal job? What's your no job?" That's my ideal job. None. But hey, we make the best of it. Hey, we're thankful that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai bless us to get our daily bread while we're here in this captivity, in this final captivity. And we do what we got to do, but ultimately we labor and we got to do the work of the Lord. We out here working for Edom, for the Esau Edom and these companies and stuff like that. But ultimately, the work of the Lord still got to be done. Okay, because hey, we still in these curses. We trying to get up out of here. One more. I'll get one more and close out real quick. This is. Did I get this? I got caught up. I can get this one. This is Genesis 1:28. It says, and Yahweh blessed them. And Yahweh said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it. That's a commandment, man. That's a commandment. That's likened unto a law. Be fruitful and multiply. We can't do that here, though. We stunned here. But for the most part, hey, here in this verse, hey, Yahweh said, be fruitful and multiply. But that was a commandment. And that was likened unto a law. But we can't fulfill he said, I have not come to do away with the law, but to fulfill it, Yahweh Shai said. But so that is not, you should not be condemned for. You should not be shunned or looked down upon for, as though the brother in that video, that Terrence Crawford, was looked down upon for having dealing with more than one woman. And having a child with more than one woman. Looked down upon even by so-called Christian people, when the whole time looked down upon as though it was unbiblical. But hey, the scriptures, there's men of the Lord that had more than one wife. I think I had a example. Yep, right here. See, list of men of the Lord and their wives. Abraham, 3 wives. You see, Jacob, multiple wives. So it is something. It's not nothing that's unbiblical. You people need to wake up. Hey, but hey, like I say, for the lack of knowledge, our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. They don't know nothing, but they proud, like they know every damn thing. And when they talk crap to you for doing something that's not even, hey, it's not expedient, but doing something that's not even unrighteous. Meanwhile, they running around doing everything unlawful. But that's all. I didn't want to make this too long. I just thought I'd touch on that. The world we live in. But hey, we look forward to the kingdom. Where we can be real men. And this ain't it. But with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I had to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Krakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until the next time, Shalom.